for a while, and they want to go to the next step, and the next step is to get them into something that they want to be a little more adventurous. You know, they want to start cutting their own trails. That's what they want to do. You know, they want to have that fun. And to me, that's the only way to cross country ski. I live on a golf course in Lake Geneva. That's all I ever do. So I just like to cut my own trails, because that's the smoothest of all cross country ski. When I talk about that 20-foot glide, that's the most fun in cross country, where you get this pattern going. You 1 foot pulling, 1 foot gliding. It's 20 feet. You just glide along. It's effortless. And a ski like that's phenomenal. It's cutting its own trail. It's staying very stable. It's giving you good stability.
So you would put a wider binding on it?
Well, they make a backcountry binding. It's a little bit beefier, a little bit wider, and it comes when you get backcountry boots. So.
We only have one binding.
Right.
It's not that one.
Yeah.
Well, with also just one more question with the length. With the backcountry, for instance, there's two. Is it just if you're closer to one weight, you go with the? Or
the reason
the
reason why they list 2 lengths always on there is you ask that person. That's a question of what they're going to be doing. If they want more control, they can go to that shorter length. If they want more glide, they go to the longer length. So you have that option for them each time. And you stay in that weight range, so they can get a little bit shorter ski, but that's as short as they can get, or they can get longer ski, and that's what they can get. And I'm surprised that who's the Fisher record? Thies? John?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't drop you off some stuff. When I see him next, I'll give him a hard time about that. But I made those up for you today because I knew that Tracy told me you didn't have anything. So.
He gave us with different sizes.
Okay.
But nothing like.
Yeah.
He gave Sam one apparently.
I never saw
It was like it wasn't made up like this. It was just like
Yeah.
a brochure.
Well, this will line you up because now you can see the skis that you have
He only brought one.
next to it. So.
I got it.
Okay, so a couple more of the technical things you should know. This comes back from my ski background. These are all sintered-based skis. And what is a sintered-based ski? Sintering is the hardest base that's on any type of ski now. There's 4 different types of bases they build skis on: PTEX 2000, PTEX 4000, and sintering. Sintering is the hardest base. It's the most expensive base. And why would Fisher put that onto the ski? Why would they spend all that money to put a sintered base on? One is that it's the best gliding base out there. And it works really good in all snow temperatures and all snow conditions. And it never gets porous. Those other ones, PTEX 2000s, PTEX 4000s, they get porous, they need work on them, they need waxing all the time. These are very hard bases. They glide really well. They take a wax really well. And on these skis, by the way, the waxes that you would sell is a tip and tail glider. And if you have some crappy snow conditions where it gets wet and gets icy, then there's a spray that you spray on the scales, and it keeps them from the snow from building up on it. So
we have that stuff? Good question, right?
Here you got Easy Glide right here, which is like the best stuff there. The Easy Glide, you can put that Easy Glide on the tip and tail, and also put it on the scales, and it'll nothing.
And that you put on before
Can
like
you do it wrong?
the snowy icy day.
Right. So jumping around a little bit. So since we're at that, everybody should always keep their skis. Tell these people to keep their skis in the garage, not in the house. Because a ski that's warm and you go to wax it, it becomes a nightmare when you put it in the snow. It gets really sticky, as you probably know. If you ever watch any Olympic cross-country skiing, all those guys are waxing for the temperature. They leave those skis outside. So the best thing to do, and even if you have them in the garage, what I do when I want to go cross-country ski is I stick them out and I throw them out in the snow. And then 5 minutes before I go, I put them in my garage, I wax them, scrape them, and they're ready to go. So everybody should have a little bit of that stuff.
Do you wax every time you go?
Yes.
Okay.
Tip and tail for sure, the glider part for sure.
Okay.
And I carry in my backpack usually I carry a little spray that keeps these scales from sticking up. Because sometimes again the snow is different temperatures on top than it is below. So
Right.
you could have nice fluff on top and wet snow underneath, and that wet snow will accumulate on those scales. And that's what you need that spray for. You need to keep it so that it doesn't build up on that, because that's a real pain in the ass too. It sucks when you're out there. That's good. So you always want to have that in a scraper, just so in case that happens, and take that. And And they make another product. It's called Clister. It's kind of a gluey wax, and Clister is what you can put on those scales also if you get into real icy conditions, because nothing works on ice, nothing. So, but Clister will. So anyways, getting back to that whole business, the other reason for sintered basing, why is Fisher the only people that use that? Because there's a big expense to it. One is that it has the best glide. Two is that it requires the least amount of work. In other words, you don't need to do much work to these skis ever, except for have them stone ground probably every other year, depending on how much you go. And stone grinding puts the diamond pattern back onto them. If you can see this ski, you notice how there's a diamond pattern on here. The stone grinding actually puts that pattern on there. And what's that pattern for? It runs the water off. So it makes the ski glide, makes nothing stick to it, runs the water off the ski. And that's the whole purpose behind stone grinding. It's an actual way to finish the ski and put a pattern on the ski so the water runs off better. And alpine skis are the same way too. There isn't too many people in alpine skis who don't use centered bases anymore. Just the cheap end companies probably don't. So anyways, that's why Fisher is the premier.